anything you want to start with, go for it, or we could go straight to questions.
Yeah, I jotted down a few things. First of all, thanks to everybody for joining in back to Zoom. Had a great weekend, homecoming weekend. I had the opportunity to speak to the Alumni Council with John Curry on Friday. I thought that was very productive. We had a really good practice on Friday afternoon for a couple hours, and we have Deacon Jam on Friday night. We had a Saturday scrimmage at 10. The 1970 football team came in and hung out with us. We all had time then to go over and tailgate and meet people. The team got introduced in the second quarter. We had a great win over Duke in football. Sunday went to church, Jonathan Walton, and over at the Waite Chapel with the gospel choir. And actually Mike Queen gave the sermon, and he's the grandfather of one of my managers, Josh Knight. And then, I think it was all capped off with the transformational gift that Bob McCurry gave to the school. And so it was a great weekend. Deacon Jam, I want to thank Rhett Butler and his staff. I always say Rhett Butler, for God's sake. Gone with the wind, baby. Rhett Hobart, sorry, Rhett. And his staff for all their hard work. Thanks to everyone who attended. We did practice 2 hours in the afternoon before Deacon Jam on special situations. It didn't get done till after 11. And I was really proud of the maturity that my team showed by coming back at 10 a.m. on Saturday and having a really good scrimmage. We had 4 of these Saturday scrimmages with officials throughout November, basically. 3 inter-squad, 1 against South Carolina. I want to thank all the officials who worked those. There was a basic format that we used throughout these, except for the South Carolina game. We played 16 minutes with one team with the emphasis on the first 4 minutes. Then we played 2 different 12-minute scrimmages with different teams, and then we played special situations. I thought we got a lot out of it. From the last scrimmage on Saturday, Adeem C had 32 points, 9 rebounds. He was 6 of 6 from the field. Jake LaRevia had 26 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 turnovers. Isaiah Musius 20 points, 3 for 6 from 3. Davian Williamson 18. Linus had 13. Thought Carter played well. Hit 3 threes. Had 4 assists. 2 turnovers. One thing that really jumped out at me was that we were 28 for 33 from the free throw line, 85%. Hopefully we can continue down that road. We voted on team captains. Isaiah Musius, Davian Williamson, and Dallas Walton will be the captains for this year. And the starters against Winston-Salem State will be Davian Williamson, Alondis Williams, Isaiah Musius, Jake LaRavia, and Dallas Walton. We're playing Winston-Salem State, an institution with tremendous history, both academically and basketball-wise. Coach Hill has been a very accomplished coach throughout his career, being a 3-time coach of the year at, I think, Cheney State, Shaw, and Winston-Salem. His dad's a Hall of Fame player at Winston-Salem State. Big House Gaines, Earl Pearl Monroe. I know a little bit of the history. Bill Hayes has been awfully good to me since I've come to Winston-Salem, and so we're looking forward to playing them on Friday night. And I'll open that up for questions.
Steve, I guess first off, as far as maybe your excitement level, anxiousness for this season start compared to last season's, what does that feel like for you?
Well, we're all excited and ready to play. And I think a little bit different last year. I don't know if we were really prepared as much as we are right now. Looking at the practice plan, I think we're on 75 or 76 today. Total since June. So, coaches are ready, players are ready. It's always good to play under the lights. It's different. It's not the same as practice. So there's always that that anxiety a little bit to get out there and play. And I think I know everybody in the program is ready to play. We're looking forward to Friday night. And again, being in front of our fans, we got a little bit of a taste of it last year, at the end, but not much. And so hope we're trying to capitalize on the momentum that football has created and the student following that they have established has been tremendous. And I spent some time this week too, going around campus and talking to the fraternity, and I'm going to do something tomorrow on campus, and just trying to continue to build a relationship and some connectiveness with our students.
Steve, do you and your staff treat this exhibition pretty much like a straight game? In other words, will the routine be the same? Will there be a full scout for your squad to get ready? How's it approached?
Yes, we'll approach it as a typical game. You know, the scouts a little thin, just based on don't have a lot of information, have a little bit, but you know, you really truthfully, you're trying to concentrate on yourself and play to your own standards and identity. But yeah, we'll have a typical game day, and I think that's why we do this, to go through that. So next Wednesday, Friday, it's not something that's new to them. We did it Saturday. We had a pregame warm up, and then we played. We didn't, do some things that normally maybe we would do in practice before we played. And so you try to take out the guesswork and make it as game-like as possible.
Steve, is it weird to be playing a exhibition against a team that played an exhibition last week against a team that you're going to play twice this year?
I don't know if it's weird. I'm not sure I've ever played an exhibition game like that. We've always had a scrimmage and an exhibition game, against usually the exhibition games have either been D2 or NAIA programs, in the past. We've been beat before. When I was at Tennessee, we got beat by Indianapolis. And then we ended up being number 2 in the country at one point. So, I don't know. It's just good to play. And we've got the film of the game Saturday, and I haven't watched it yet. I will before we play, but my staff has, and we'll be prepared to play. But they're going to put new stuff in. We're going to put stuff in, and there's going to be some things that, to be honest, we probably won't run. We'll probably hold on to for a while and just see where it goes.
Coach, is the biggest thing for you guys in your exhibition just working on self and kind of what you guys need to do moving forward?
Yeah, I think, I only want to win. I mean, I think it's important. You don't want to go into any game and not play to win. And then I think it teaches our players that no matter the opponent, we play to the way we play, our identity and our standards and the goals that we've set for this team and ourselves. And, the way I think I said this about South Carolina. The goal of any game is to try to make the game look like your practice. And that's the goal, to try to make it look like the way that we practice and play every day. And we can do that. We're going to have a good, we're going to have a very successful year. And that's always the goal, no matter what year it is to do that.
Steve, I know there were maybe a handful of just like your typical injury things. As far as like team health, is everything looking okay stepping into this one?
Well, Matthew's still out, unfortunately, and I don't know when he's going to return. It's basically out of my hands. So I'm disappointed in that. I'd really like to have him out there, but other than that, we're good. And I tried to. For me, it's hard. I've tried to back off a little bit this week. And we still go hard, but maybe do a little more 5-on-0 type stuff. We'll go live today over at the Joel. That's the other thing. Today will be one of the, we'll be practicing over at the Joel now, week of the game, which will be good for our guys to get over there. But we're good. We're good. We got some bumps and bruises, but everybody does. It's like I tell my players this all the time. Again, I go back to baseball. Pitchers, they feel their arm feels good one time a year, first game in the spring. That's about it. Then that thing's hanging, and you got to throw. It's the same thing with football players and basketball players and soccer players and field hockey. You're not always going to feel great, and so you gotta play through that. And I think playing 76 practices, you're going to have some of that, especially at the intensity level that we go.
Coach, you've talked about Dallas Walton a little bit before,
Mhm.
but I'm wondering what qualities you've seen out of him and the team has seen that prompted him to be selected captain.
Yeah. I think his just overall approach every day on and off the court, Lauren, he's very driven, very focused on being a high achiever, not just basketball wise, but academically. I think it's pretty well documented about his internship that he did this summer with Nike on top of practicing and lifting. And, he's just got an infectious personality. I think he's a guy that the players trust. He doesn't talk down to people. He encourages, but he's not afraid to have tough conversations with his teammates. And I think he's got the total package. And he's, and for a new guy, I say a new guy, he's not new, but for a guy who's got newer teammates to come in and gain that type of respect is pretty impressive. But I'm not surprised because he leads by example. And it's not just always what he says, but how he does. And so we're very fortunate to have him and to have, Isaiah and Davian. Those guys were the leading vote getters, and that didn't surprise. Listen, just because you're a returner doesn't mean you're going to be a captain. I don't typically have captains. I usually just kind of let it work its way out. But this year I thought it'd be good to do it and go ahead and vote. And so we did. And I'm not surprised by the three that were voted.
Any chance you want to elaborate on why the change to having captains this year?
Well, I think there's a sign in my office that says, there it is, because I'm the coach. That's why. No. I don't know, Connor. I mean, I just felt, I didn't just do it. I talked to the staff about it. I've always thought it was interesting. I know this is going to sound messed up, but I hardly ever go out for warm-ups, but always at the beginning of the year, every year, I would sneak out there to watch the first game when the refs called the captains up. I'd like to see who would just go up there. I always did it that way. And it's amazing who would really want to take that responsibility without telling them, right? And that's the way I've always done it. I know that's out of the box, but that's the way I've done it. And but this year, I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to see what the players were thinking. And were they thinking what I was thinking or what my staff and I were thinking? And they were. Again, I'm not surprised. Those guys are really good leaders.
Steve, as far as Matthew and trying to help him through this, I guess, first major bit of college adversity, what's that like for a guy, especially that seemed to be trending in a good direction with practices?
It was hard. It's your first little taste of adversity, and I don't know how many miles from home you are, but you're a long ways from home. And, there's a lot of things when you get a concussion, you can't do, and so he's just getting acclimated back into just being able to come and watch practice. And, he's not been able to go to school. He's been a lot of things. And now he's a mature young man. He's got some great teammates and he's got coaches that care about him, but it's hard and it's hard. It's frustrating for him. It's frustrating for me too. I want him out there. I think our team needs him, and he's missing a lot of this is a tough time to miss, missed the scrimmage, missed a lot of stuff that's been installed in the last couple of weeks. And so, he's behind, but, again, depth, chance for somebody else to step up. Maybe he was a little ahead of Tariq. I don't know. They were fighting neck and neck, but now, here you go. Here's your chance to step up, and he'll get his chance when he comes back. But I'm sure he's frustrated. But that's part of, the great thing about having a team and really having a team is you take care of each other. You care about each other. And so we're gonna help him get back to being where he was at.
Just to be clear, Steve, to clear up that story, in previous years, you did not name captains and just looked to see who stepped up into that role. And then whoever went to that spot, they were your captains.
Yeah, I did it that way.
How many years have you done it that way?
That I've been a head coach. I've never had the team vote. I didn't want it to be a popularity contest. I wanted to see who really wanted the role. Now, hey, I've seen 5 guys walk up there too. I don't care. There's no rule.
Did you ever get some terrible captains?
I don't think we had terrible captains. I would say as an assistant coach, I've been on some teams where I would say that maybe that captain needed to not open his mouth and not say it, not talk. But hey, it goes like that. And that's, but you got to help them too, right? You got to develop these guys into being leaders. Now, listen, I know that's out of the box, okay? And probably it's not in the John Wooden coaching manual. I can promise you that. But that's just the way it worked for me. And I changed this year. I went back to a little more traditional way.
Anything else for Coach?
Steve, with all due respect, you're a guy that was coaching JUCO 10 years ago, so it's not surprising to have some out of the box theories like this.
Well, there's a lot of things. Connor, I'm pretty old school in a lot of things. I really am pretty straightforward, but I don't know what made me. I don't know. I just, I guess really deep down inside, I just kind of wanted to see who wanted the job. Does that make sense? Some guys might get voted in and don't want it, because I'll lean on those guys. I'm gonna be hard on them now. They better not have a bad practice. They don't. Those guys, they don't, But yeah, it's a little outside the box there, Connor. But hey, I went to junior college too, right? And I'm coaching at the 28th ranked institution in the United States, so academically. So here we are. I did graduate 3rd in my class.
Were we throwing were they the mule riders when you were there?
Oh yeah, they still are the mule riders in Southern Arkansas. I've actually got some shirts the other day from the AD. I like to wear them, but they're Under Armour. I can't wear them. Maybe one of these days for a press conference, I'll make Lucy have a heart attack and I'll put one on with that Under Armour right there on my chest, and I'll make everybody happy. See, look, got my Nike on today. Yeah, mule riders, baby. There's boll weevils. There's mule riders. I don't know, cotton. There's all kinds of reddies. There's all kinds of weird names in that league. Trust me.
All right. Anything else related to the Demon Deacons?
Yeah. All right. Well, I got to go to practice, and hasta la vista. I'll see you on Friday.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.